What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Avengers 4 video. So if you're new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like and a subscribe down below if you did enjoy the video. That would be super appreciated as you support the channel, as I haven't really updated that much, and well, soz. That's all I can really say there. But let's talk about a couple of things here for Avengers 4, because well, it's out in a couple of months and I actually cannot wait. It's just feels like yesterday that we were waiting for Infinity War to drop, and it blew our collective minds. But one big thing here is an increasingly big question as to why Doctor Strange actually decided to give our friend Thanos the Time Stone when he quite clearly knew exactly what he was going to do with it. He was going to absolutely wreck half of the universe, and it felt incredibly weird considering the fact that, well, Doctor Strange spent the first half of the movie chastising Tony Stark for actually wanting to kind of protect this stone. And, well, Doctor Strange, he wanted to and said that, well, we can't risk the Time Stone whatsoever. And Tony Stark wanted to seemingly risk it when they were flying on the Q ship, only for him to, well, Doctor Strange, to instantly change his mind the minute he saw the millions upon millions of alternative futures. Now, of course, there are a few things, and a few things had to line up exactly as they did in that one single timeline where the Avengers succeeded in actually defeating Thanos. Now, that was, of course, and seemingly, if you've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, if you haven't, well, sorry, there will be spoilers. It's been a hell of a lot of months since it actually was released in cinemas, and it is now out on 4K Blu-ray. I'm hoping Santa brings that and puts that in my stocking so I can enjoy watching that in 4K on Christmas Day. That rhymed. Maybe I should be a rapper. No, I'm just a subpar YouTuber. That's all I'm ever going to be. But Doctor Strange seemingly knew that our friend Ant-Man was going to be trapped within the quantum realm at a specific point. Now, the reason, and of course, having these two line up, yes, you may be wondering, okay, well, Doctor Strange gives over the stone just as the snap, well, then the snap happens, and then, well, we have Scott Lang trapped in the quantum realm, so what? But what happens here is the sheer fact that the quantum realm goes and really goes weird. It goes all gold and yellow when the snap actually happens, and he calls out to the, well, Team Pym, I guess I'm going to call them, for lack of a better term, and they are completely snapped. So we know that in some way this timeline saved Scott Lang, and having him trapped in that exact moment, well, that then allowed him to be saved. Now, it really was not that much time between when the stone was handed over and also when we have the snap actually happen. He literally gets to Earth, smacks down some Avengers, and then snaps. And this happens pretty much around the same time. So maybe here Doctor Strange knew that Scott Lang would be trapped within the quantum realm. That would allow him to travel through time using the time pockets and time vortexes that we did have the original Wasp mention, and this is the key to him actually surviving in the future. Now, that is one of the reasons, and one of the realities is what Doctor Strange actually saw, this being the only one. We saw evidence of this in the Endgame trailer, as we saw archive footage, and it seems, and many theories do believe, that we will see Scott Lang time travel back to an old version of the Avengers base. So it's quite clear here that Doctor Strange knows that time travel will be involved in the future, and that he had to save Scott Lang from the decimation, as they are now calling it. Now, a couple of other things here is that Tony Stark is in an interesting Audi video. We know that he will be, or at least Tony Stark is obsessed with Audi cars. Now, personally, I can't help but think, why hasn't he actually made his own version, an Iron Man car, like the Spider-Mobile, made from the reactor that he uses to power his costumes? But we know that he will be driving a brand new Audi in this movie. And, well, it is going to happen when he gets back from space. So the minute he gets from space, he gets a brand new whip there to drive around on Earth. So we know that he will be on Earth at present time, driving around for some reason in a brand new Audi. Now, the next thing is that Thanos will be losing his stones. We know that he will be losing his stones because there have been mentions of this from the Russo brothers. Now, this is taking what they've said with a pinch of salt here, as we do as Marvel YouTubers. But Thanos, he took off his armor the minute he got 2 stones. So the minute he got those stones at the start of Avengers Infinity War, he then took off the armor because he was so stupidly powerful. There's no reason to wear armor when you are that powerful, even if it did actually look quite badass there. But what's happening is that he will be wearing his armor again in this movie. Now the question is it because of time travel, or is it the sheer fact that he's taken it off of his scarecrow, or even a scarecrow, from his farm when he decides to go forward and fight? Now, if it is simply because he has to fight again, well, it does seem like he will be losing one of those stones at some point to possibly the Avengers, or going back in time and he decides, you know what, I'm going to need to put this armor on again. Now, there may be another reason that he dons his armor again is because, well, he is actually damaged. He has a huge gaping chest wound, well, in his chest. So he's going to need that as well, but he won't really have his stones or really the Infinity Gauntlet because it is completely and utterly damaged to heck. But there is rumours of a Stark Gauntlet being made. So I do think that he will be losing his power somewhat there with his stones, and will have to require him to wear his armor once more, even though it didn't really look that powerful or that thick, because, well, he's pretty much a badass anyway. So it'll be interesting to see where that actually goes next. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.